2 enthusiastic thumbs up.
You know what time it is. It's time. This is a little different, huh? Holy shit, you could see our
Ah.
faces. You could see all my dirty laundry, keyboards.
Hold your
Hey,
clothes,
look,
man.
those are mine. I do like to wear women's clothes every once in a while, but it's all right. This is the audio files
Moving on.
2.0. We're here with Ohm, as you can see. Dustin so graciously blessed us with some nice MIDI files to look at while we go through the software and basically break down what Ohm's all about. You can see all the cool stuff. Couple things to note. You won't be able to see my mouse cursor on screen. I haven't figured out how to do that in OBS yet, but you will be able to follow along.
Progress.
It's going to be super simple. As you can see, there's not a lot going on with Ohm. Like the UI is pretty clean. So without further ado, I guess we'll get started. There's no topics. It's kind of weird starting the show like this. Like I'm usually like ready to get right into news or something.
Going right back to the old school where we just started out
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah, I know, right? Like it really is. It's right back to the
Yep.
beginning. So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how do you want to start this? Let's. I guess we can talk about the like visual features that you see here, like just the basic layout. You know.
Yeah, man. Like I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, dude. Like it's pretty simple. You kind of get what you pay for, which is nothing in this case.
You get
So I
nothing.
mean, like, but it really is. But like, I mean, simplicity is beautiful and key in this whole situation. So the ability to just grab things from the plugin menu over there, drop them into a wrap, it creates a track for you already.
Yeah. Let's.
And you're basically
okay.
ready to fire it
Sorry
up.
about that. Didn't mean to interrupt. Let's demonstrate that though. Like I said, you won't really be
Yep.
able to see my cursor, but you'll definitely be able to see what I'm doing here. I'll drop in an instrument. Let's go with. I won't do expand 2 because that has issues sometimes. Another serum never hurt anybody. Let's see what that does. All right.
Well, it might hurt your computer,
yeah.
but
I'm not too worried about it right now though. So as you can see here on the screen, when I drag the expand little plugin over, you have a list of plugins to your right there. It grays out the rest of the screen and it highlights where it's going to drop it. So all I have to do is release the left mouse button and voila, we have a new serum. We have a new serum rack. Look at that. And I'm not doing that. That's Dustin actually controlling where the rack position, or I guess you could say track position of that particular plugin. If you want to rename it, you're messing with the racks. I'm trying to rename it. That's funny. If you want to rename it, just simple double click. You could call it whatever. We'll call this, synth 1 or something like that. Doesn't really matter. And there you have it. You have a new instrument ready to go. So that's basically like a big part of what you'll be doing in Ohm. There's a lot of just, adding plugin. Just like when you're making beats regularly, you're always adding tracks. That's basically how you would do it.
Yeah, the way I like to, I started thinking about it with Ohm is like, this is play your instrument and make music. Like there's not a lot of extra bells and whistles, not a lot of extra stuff you have to think about when you're doing this. You drag an instrument into a track and you start making music. And like that's kind of beautiful because like there's not a lot of extra thought that has to go into it. You just drop the shit on the track and go. So that's what I've enjoyed about working in it so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just so nice to be able to work collaboratively with somebody and not have to worry about like each other's setups. Like that's the
move people's tracks around on them
and
and
I
shit
can
like that.
move it over like that and then move it back or whatever. Yeah. So just to go through the UI a little bit, the upper left, you have very basic transport. You have your record, which will become enabled once you actually record and enable a track. You have your play button, stop, and then loop feature here. I can see what's I think is probably one of the coolest features in Ohm that is I feel like we kind of overlooked is the track preview in the top right. How it has the outline of your basically whole song there, and it has the
Yeah.
highlighted boxes around each person's view. So each highlighted box in this upper right, I wish I had a cursor so you can see, but it's right next to all of the track information, like the position, click. I forgot what that is referenced to. I don't know what that's called, but you can see Dustin moving it around
Yeah.
right now, and I can basically tell like where in the track he's working by his
Yeah. What I'm looking
exactly
at.
by his little outline square there. So that's definitely a nice feature. I'm just trying to go through real quick and tell you all of the features that you might want to know. Oh, and then the tools are in the bottom left hand corner, right above the
Yep.
chat room. Did you want to go over those a little bit? I know that you kind of like spearheaded it.
Yeah. I haven't messed with the tools. I haven't done a lot of editing in it yet. So I think we kind of touched on that before. Like as far as, I think there are some limitations to Ohm to where you're going to get to a certain point and just say, all right, screw this. Let's export and get into Logic or get into Pro Tools or get into Reason or whatever you want to get
That's a
into
good
and
point.
mix. But there are the tools right there below the like I guess you want to call it the sequencing or the edit window. I don't know what the actual term for it is. But you basically have a pencil tool to draw stuff in, an eraser tool, scissors tool, a hand tool to grab stuff and move stuff around, and then I believe the last one is a mute tool. Um, if you need help figuring anything out, like if you go up to the help menu and click on show tooltips, there are some pretty actually legit help tips that pop up. There's big windows that pop up. Now, that being said, you're going to probably find those annoying as shit after a second because they take up a huge landscape in your window. And you'll probably end up turning those on and off. At least I found myself doing that for the first probably 3 or 4 times that I was in there until I kind of figured stuff out and figured out what I was doing.
Yeah, that's a great point as well. You definitely want to take advantage of those because there are some things that aren't too intuitive in here. Like there are some things that it's going to take some getting used to actually get started, like collaborating at least. I guess we could go over some of those too. Right now we're using plugins that we both have, so it's really not that big a deal. But yeah, you know what I just noticed is that there's a huge export button right next to that environment view. I never have used it. I don't even know what it really does.
No, I just clicked on it, and actually it has an export for individual tracks, which is phenomenal. It basically has a radial button for the master track and then for individual tracks so that you can.
Please, I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
Yeah, so you can. No, you're good. You're good. So that you can output. Now, the thing with this is this OGG files. I'm gonna sound a little ignorant on this because I don't know shit about OGG files, but can you drop those in Logic and Pro Tools? Will they accept those?
I think they do. I've never tried the OGG files. I know that you can get like some third party like audio converter if you wanted to, if you really wanted to like drop them into Logic, but I'm pretty sure they can. I mean, Logic and Pro Tools should, or at least Logic. I don't know about Pro Tools. Should be able to handle it. It's a lossless file type. It's one of those things.
Yeah, so you can bounce export. You can bounce a master 2-channel bus, or you can bounce individual stems out of there and get your stuff hopefully pretty easily right into Logic, Pro Tools, Reason, whatever your DAW of choice is.
Yeah, I apologize for checking my phone a little bit earlier. I have a band rehearsal later tonight, and I was like, oh shit, I hope they're not there, because I know that we're supposed to be getting going here at like probably about an hour now, so we're good. Yeah, and as you can see here as well, under the export button, there's the invite button. That's to invite other people into your project. So I don't know how many people you can have in one project. It's always just been the two of us, but I assume you can have quite a few. I don't see why they would put a limit on that. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I think also we could back out of like the close the session out and show the like there's that original like landing space that you come into a chat window that shows what users are online, and there's like the little group chat there as well that has people talking, and you know, you can get involved with them and whatever they're working on as well.
Yeah, that sounds like it sounds like something that we'll definitely experiment with in the future.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I mean, like, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't, as far as just the UI goes, it's very simple.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, like, I don't feel like we need to really talk about it anymore. So,
nope. Just need to get to work, and we'll get going on some collabs and show you how it really goes down.
Yeah. So you got some stuff already brought up here. Let's play that. So everything's from my perspective, by the way. I don't know if we're gonna like keep it like this, but for right now, everything's from my perspective. So when I hit play, you'll be able to hear the music. There we go.
But I can't hear the music.
But Dustin can't hear.
Unless I hit play on my side.
Yeah, if Dustin hits play on his side, he can hear the music. But yeah, so that's what we have going on right now, and as you can notice, it's all MIDI. So why is it all like, why, you might be asking yourself, well, how can you hear it, you know, if it's not you that recorded this? Dustin recorded this. Yeah, so we can hear this because we both have these plugins. We both have Serum. So if you and your homie have Serum and he records something, you don't have to go through, it just works. Like I've pulled up Serum. I know you can't see it on screen, but I pulled up Serum and I'm looking at the patch that he used. It's called Excited Homer for the bass one. And this is an interesting patch, dude. They got Homer Simpson as a wavetable, and Mo as another wavetable.
Shout out to Echo Soundworks for that pack. That was on ADSR. It came in a pack that I picked up from them. So yeah, dude, Echo Soundworks. If you guys don't fuck with Echo Soundworks for some of your packs, go check him out.
Yeah, I'm about to go check this out. This looks pretty interesting.
Serum is great on a little tangent here. Serum is great for just dropping pictures in and ending up with super weird shit.
Yeah, right. I know. That's like the dopest part of Serum to me, is the like it being able to process pictures as wavetables. It's really interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, but so that's the way it works if you have the same plugins. You know, if we have different plugins, so maybe I'll add. Uh-oh. Did you get booted from the room?
No, I had to drop out because Serum nothing wanted to open for me. So, yeah. As we said, there's some hiccups, but there are quick fixes, like just closing out of the session and going back in.
Yeah, there are some bugs, but we can work through them. No worries.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pull up Obscurium. I know Dustin doesn't have this. Probably. I'm not really too concerned about like how the actual patch sounds with the loop we have. I just want to demonstrate like exactly how you would work with audio if the other person doesn't have what you have. So let me make sure that my shit actually works, because I haven't actually tested it out. God willing, it does. Yes, it does. All right, now I'm gonna record some stuff. See how this works. And so the hotkey to record, actually probably should go over the hotkeys just a little bit. Two that I use like a lot is enter, which will get you back to the beginning of the track, or it'll get you to the end of the region, and then if you hit it again, it'll get you to the beginning of the track, and then R to record. Spacebar to play. It's pretty standard stuff. A lot of it's very intuitive. But
yeah.
So I'm gonna record this. Hopefully.
God willing. That was well put.
All right. Oops. All right, so I obviously recorded some MIDI here. Can you see the MIDI, Dustin? Yeah.
Yep,
All right.
I got it. I can move it
You can
around
move
and
it
everything.
around, but if he hits play on his end, I don't think he'll be able to hear it.
I I, I get probably. I got nothing, man. I got
Nothing.
nothing.
So there's a couple things you could do. If you just want to like preview this or just let your homie hear it, um, one thing you could do is freeze the track and it'll bounce it down, and voila. Now Dustin should be able to hear this.
I got a little refresher icon on my
Yep.
side.
You go ahead and
So
hit that. The refresher icon looks like two arrows going in opposite directions.
it didn't play
How
actually.
dare they?
So how dare
Here, let me
they?
manually sync it. Okay.
Yeah.
Should be good.
We broke it.
We broke it. Well, whatever. Okay, so freeze track is supposed to allow you. You can see it here on the screen. It looks like a grayed out sort of like audio waveform on the track. Um, it's supposed to let you, or it's supposed to let the other party hear what you played if they don't have the plugin that you have. The preferred way, which I, enjoy doing. Actually, let me unfreeze this.
Yeah, it was flashing, so like I'm not sure what happened there, but there was definitely a
Yeah, we'll
hiccup.
come back to it. This way should work like every single time. And that is to export the audio and then re-import it into the section, the session.
Yeah,
It's a pain in the ass, but whatever. You do what you got to do.
yeah, with the audio files, it's almost 100% guaranteed
Yeah,
to work. The MIDI is probably like a 50-50 shot. It seems like at this point, there's definitely some extra steps you have to take to get that MIDI information to freeze into some type of readable file for the other person.
yeah. It's definitely not 100%. So, um, this is our preferred way of working. Like, I would rather have an audio waveform to work with anyway. I guess you can say what
Sure.
the disadvantage would be is that you can't alter any of the sounds, but you couldn't do it if you freeze the track anyway. So it
Right.
really doesn't matter too much in that regard. I can't find my audio file. Like, that's one thing that I don't like about Ohm is that there's no way to just add an audio file. You have to like drag it from the plugins.
Yeah, you need like a bounce in place like Logic has or
Yeah.
something.
And sometimes you can't see the audio file. Plugin. So in that case, you kind of have to like get out of the session. So I'm going to exit Ohm real quick. And this is like the little shit that we were talking about. Like this stuff in episode 24. This stuff is annoying. Like having to exit
Yeah.
Ohm and then re-enter Ohm and then you know deal with it that way whenever you have these little bugs. It's really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I think a little bit of it is like I don't know. I'm not sure how much the developers actually intended this to be used as like a real time collaborative type thing. I definitely think it is meant to be collaborative, but I think I don't know how much of it is meant to be two people hands on at the same time. So I'm not sure how much that kind of negatively impacts the performance of it. But we've used it with success in the past. At the same time, sometimes it just gets a little glitchy and you got to close out of stuff and open it back up. So,
yeah.
yeah, definitely one of the hiccups and definitely one of the big negatives, I think, at this point of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, like how negative is it too? Like we said in the last episode, like I'll deal with it if it means that we can like make fucking music and not have to
Yeah, exactly.
go back and forth with audio files like that. That's way more inconvenient than having to close out and get back into a program. So yeah, wow. I kind of really just lost my train of thought. It's really hard doing this, like trying to keep track of or OBS and try and do this and talk about overtime. It's like really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be easier, I think, once we just get into the creative flow and just let the camera be there. But yeah, we definitely wanted to drop some knowledge on this one and kind of give people the 2 cent tour of Ohm Studio.
Yeah, 100%. We definitely had to get this done, just so that I mean, like, if you're not sold on Ohm at this point, though, like, what more do you want? Like, for real, man. Like,
Yeah.
what else can they do for you? Like, this is crazy. Like, move a region. Move a region right now. My hand's off the mouse. Look at that. That should just move, bro. And I'm not touching it. That's crazy to me.
You know what's interesting too is that MIDI region that I just drug up to the Serum track. It pops up as it does automatically transfer over the MIDI information, so I can actually see the MIDI information that's there that you actually played in. Yeah, so it definitely it won't let me see it when it's down a track on the instrument that I don't have, but it is there. So that's fascinating.
Fascinating.
I could take that I could take that MIDI information and just put it onto another instrument that I have and call it good.
Like.
Yeah, do what I want with it.
All right, so another hotkey alert, I guess you can say. Hotkey alert.
we need a sound effect when that shit happens.
Dude,
hotkey
we'll
alert.
Talk later about sound effects. I found a program that'll allow us to do shit like that. But yeah, right. Nice. So the hotkey I'm gonna highlight right now is the number 1 key on your computer keyboard. We'll switch you to the pointer tool, which will allow you to move regions and do all the fun shit that you would like to do with regions. So, or with any object, really, in here. Yeah. So, yeah. As you can see, I imported the bounce down version of my rack 1, and how I did that, just a little refresher. On our left-hand side here, you can kind of see me hovering over some of the other plugins that I don't have. On top, there's a audio plugin sort of thing you could drag and drop in there, or audio track plugin that you could drag and drop, and you can import your exported MIDI region and drop it onto that track right there. So what I basically did to import it is Command I, which will bring you to the place, which is nice. It'll bring you to the place where you exported your MIDI to, or exported the audio from your MIDI to, and it'll just have it all right there for you. You just have to kind of make sure that you have your path set up correctly, or that it's somewhere that you'll be able to find the files, as always. And yeah, now we have our audio there. Let's see if Dustin can hear it. I know you guys won't be able to, but yeah, you got it. There you go, man. And you could just do that for, I can. Look at that. It's fucking moving the region. I'm not touching shit. I'm scratching my face over here, not looking at the camera. He's cutting it. Look at that. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's really kind of the selling point for me. Like, and I could do the same thing with this stuff, you know. I can go and cut it. But not to like ramble on about this. Like, I think you guys get the point at this point. There's like little nuanced things too that happen, or that you can do in here, like the drum programming you were talking about last episode, dragging and dropping that. Do you want to like drag and drop some drums right quick? Just
I could do that. Let's unload up some machine. Like, that's the easiest way I found to do it. Drums anyway in here is just to go with machine, because it does have the drag and drop functionality on it, just to get stuff dropped in there.
What if none of this records?
That would be tragic. That would be a horrible situation.
Damn
it, Rashad. Be positive, man. Be positive.
But these are the thoughts that are running through my head. I'm like, man, I just hope this works, and it will, because I'm getting levels.
There's always a point of failure sometimes. Always a point. 60% of the time it works every single time.
That's one of those corporate quotes.
There we go. So let's get a little drum something up here. Find something EDM trappy to go with our wonky loop that we
Yeah,
got
this
here.
is a demo of Technology Loop. We'll still release it though. I think I'm gonna release this on what you call it? What is that service that we all know and love? Splice. Splice. So if you guys aren't on Splice too, like the fuck, get your lives together. Get on Splice. Yeah, because we're gonna be dropping free stems on Splice, probably of most of the episodes. I don't know if everyone will do it, but I'm gonna try my best. Don't be mad at me. It's a lot of work. Yeah, but this is Ohm, you guys. I hope you are excited as I am to be a part of this new frontier of music production. If you're not as excited as me, you don't have to watch the show. I would love it if you did. I love the lights you got going on too, by the way, Dustin.
Gotta get in the
I feel
music
like I
making
want to
mood.
jump up and down with my friends right now. I want to I want to raise the roof. That's great. Yeah, so as Dustin's laying the drums down, I'll give you a quick list of hotkeys that you might want to remember. Let me pull it up right quick. I already dropped some hotkey knowledge a little earlier with the number keys. One being the pointer tool. That is the number one being the pointer tool. But actually, 1 through 5 are all of your edit tools. So and they correspond from left to right. So 1 being the pointer tool, 2 being the pencil, 3 the eraser, and so on. Yeah, so you have those. Escape is the edit window zoom out. So if you're zoomed way in on a piece of a region that you're working on, you can always hit escape and it'll give you like the zoomed out version of your song. As you can see here on the screen, it gave us it in 16ths. So that's a nice little feature that they've added. My phone just went away. Z is the edit window zoom in. So if you want to get back to that view that you had earlier, just hit the letter Z on your keyboard, and it should do what I'm telling it to do, but it's not right now. It's really not fucking with me at all. That's weird. Maybe it was C. No, that's the compact track. So that's another good one to know too. If you wanted to get like all of your tracks in view, you could just hit C, and it will get you there. I think if I hit escape again, no. So C twice seems to get you back. Interesting. How you doing over there, Dustin?
Don't mind me just dropping in and out of the session. It's all good.
Good old Ohm. Kicking people out since
yeah, I was trying to.
Go ahead.
The drag and drop for some reason, it seems to hang it up sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so hopefully we're getting there.
I'll keep going down this list. Z is
get it.
I do get it. I caught that. Z is supposed to work. I don't know why it's not working. It's really frustrating. Anyway, Q is to quantize, so all of your MIDI notes can be on time. Hit that Q. Command plus scroll wheel or mouse wheel. Excuse me. Command or control plus mouse wheel. So command if you're on Mac, control if you're on PC. Will zoom horizontally. I can't really demonstrate that since I'm without a mic stand at the current moment in time. But command or control plus shift and the mouse wheel will get you to zoom horizontally. And if you want to export without hitting that big convenient export button and you want to use the hotkey, it's command plus alt plus E to export the audio region. And to import, as I did earlier, I think I told you this one, it's command I. Just keep in mind that if you're going to import audio, it has to be to an audio track, which there is no hotkey for. So you have to drag it from the plugin area, which is on your right here. You can see I'll highlight some of the actual there you go. I'll highlight the plugins there, so right there, and you can see audio track. So yeah, that's a quick overview of the hotkeys. You'll probably want to pause that and write them down, or just go in, like don't pause it. Just go in Ohm and have fun, have a blast.
Sure. Just go ham, as they
Go ham
say.
with your friends. Convince one of your friends to download this program. It's free. I think it took me like 5 minutes to download. Like it's really lightweight. It's actually it's a very well designed program. For what it does, for it not to be completely shitty.
As I sit over here and struggle to drag and drop regions. It seriously
It
won't let
won't
me
let
do it
you
right
do
now
it.
for some reason. Like,
Well, what are you gonna
yeah,
do?
I'm losing track of my mouse, so I don't it's
Oh,
freaking
really?
out.
It's not fucking with you.
It may be one of those yeah, it may be one of those situations where I just gotta quit out and come
Yeah.
back in.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go over that right now. I feel like we went over plenty. That was just supposed to be like icing on the cake. But this episode's pretty much
Ah,
done. Uh yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
The next episode will be like our first real one. Hopefully it goes a lot smoother than this one did. But
If you've made it this far,
if you've made
thank
it
you.
this far, thank you so much. I know this is a long one, but we want to make sure to cover all of our bases. That way, if you do have any questions, they'll be actual questions that, are worth our time. Jokes, you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Hit that like, hit that
hit
subscribe
all that
button.
shit and listen to our old ones if you haven't. I'm slowly but surely putting them up on
Yep.
YouTube. I think I'm up to like episode 10 or 9, one of those, 8, one of those. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I think we're done here.
That's all we got.
Peace.
Peace.